Welcome to Prepper Nation. I am John, and we're going to have a conversation this morning, a short one, just something that needs to be said as it comes to, prepping or life in general, especially here in the United States. So I got to go back to Friday. I had to take my son to the doctor, right? And I overheard a conversation sitting out in the waiting room. And I just want to touch on this conversation because it plays into this morning's topic. So the conversation went, and I'm paraphrasing here, but we've all heard it before. Some of us out there, maybe you feel the same way. If so, that's okay, but we're going to discuss it this morning. I've heard people talking about how in today's time, 2023, there is no way they would have kids and try and raise kids in today's world, I think is what they said. And I understand that. I get it. I totally get that mindset. I understand where they're coming from. And again, many of you maybe feel this way. I've certainly seen it in chats and comments because I go through and I approve all the comments. I have to over here, unfortunately. And I go through and I watch the chat replay, stuff like that when we do live streams. So I've seen that comment. Can't tell you how many times. There's no way you would raise kids, or thank God you don't have kids in 2023, or thank God your kids are grown in 2023. So again, I understand it. I get it. I get where these people were coming from. I didn't chime in. It's just something they were talking really loud, son. So I could hear it. And I'm like, okay, well, this is an interesting conversation. So it's just no good. What this is called is defeatism. All right, and so we're going to have a chat this morning about defeatism because there's a lot of it, believe it or not, in the prepping community, and there shouldn't be, all right, or in the United States in general, or wherever you happen to be. In fact, during a time of war, defeatism is not a good thing. And if you go back historically speaking, you look at all the major wars, major conflicts, what you will see is you will see leaders, especially your stronger, more polarizing leaders, they will have mass purges of generals, like their top generals. They'll do a purge all, they'll send them to a work camp or even worse because of defeatism. Because defeatism is like cancer. It spreads, and defeatism, I think the way it's defined or something like this is a feeling or an acceptance of defeat before the battle's actually been fought, somewhere around in there if you were to pull it up on Webster's. The point is, you cannot win a war with defeatism. You just can't do it. And again, this is why a lot of your strong leaders, historically speaking, have done a purge all. Anytime they sense defeatism or they sense that a general is a defeatist, they'll purge them. And they'll purge everybody around them to make sure, again, just like cancer, to make sure they get rid of all of it, okay? Because it does spread and it brings morale down. Morale's pretty low in 2023 in this country, even in the prepping community. I've touched on this here and there, but morale should be very high in this community. We're the ones that understand what's coming and what's already here. We're the ones that should be prepared for anything and everything. Yet I see so much low morale in this community, so many defeated voices and faces and just conversations of defeat. Make no mistake, we are at war. We're the resistance. Remember, we just talked about that last week. The conservative way of life has been under attack for a while. Of course we're at war, but conservatives know exactly what I'm talking about. Anytime I say conservatives, people are like, well, I've been called a racist for saying conservative. No, this is people of all colors, all right? Anybody that has that conservative mindset, usually a Bible is involved, or a constitution, or both, preferably both, and a love of country, a love of freedom. You get the gist. You want the freedom of speech. You want the Second Amendment. You don't want group thought. You want picket fence around your home. You want 2.5 kids, however many dogs, 1.5, whatever the average is. You want the brick house, stuff like this. The American dream, or what used to be the American dream. And if you still want this, you're under attack. If you still think this way in 2023, you are the enemy and they are attacking you. I mean, straight up, we see it each and every day. But we need to understand something, okay? You were put here to enjoy your life. So I had a lot of encouraging messages from Patreon, the Coffee Club, and the Bunker Busters over the weekend because sometimes I feel a little defeated. And they were picking me up, man. They were carrying me, if you will. And one of them, I think it was Bama Jen, one of them left a message and said, don't let them steal your joy. It's not the first time I've heard it. Of course, I see it every couple of weeks, maybe in chat, and occasionally you'll get that message, and the message will be the same. Don't let these people steal your joy. These people that are pulling the levers of power, right? The ones we're trying to shine the flashlight on, so to speak. Don't let them take your joy. Because we are, as humans, we're products of our surroundings. We're sponges. You know what I'm saying? And having that defeatist attitude, it spreads. It spreads to people around you. And it's a very dangerous thing. If you surround yourself, I'll give you a perfect example. If you surround yourself with gloom and doom, or doomer porn, as I'm hearing it called now here in the prepping community, if you surround yourself with it each and every day, 7 days a week, and you're totally engrossed in all of the stuff you're seeing on mainstream media, social media, of course, all that's being done on purpose, you see. You're going to see the negative stuff in mainstream media. You're going to see it in social media. Again, propaganda, right? But a lot of people go out of their way here on YouTube, and they specifically look for the doomer porn, the gloom and doom. I don't know why. I haven't figured that Rubik's Cube out, son, but I know they do. I'm not oblivious to the fact that people put really scary topics up there. They whip up a bunch of fear, and people are drawn to that. And I try not to do that here on the channel. Maybe we get into it every now and then, but it needs to be said. There's way too much of that. And people are living their lives literally in fear in the one community here on YouTube that should have no fear. I don't know. I just see a lot of it. And I think maybe to a degree it's an addiction. I do. I think some people are addicted. They wake up in the morning and they seek it out. They got to find the most negative news that they possibly can. How is the sky falling today? And of course, other people capitalize on it by talking about it every single day, right? But I do think people are addicted to it, and I don't think that they understand that's defeatism. Because once you accept that as normal, once you become a defeatist, it doesn't matter how many weapons of peace you own or a willingness to use them. It doesn't matter, because they've literally already defeated you mentally. It's very, very important. Prepping should make you happy, right? And look, content creators, doing this on YouTube, this exchange, should make us happy. It gets stressful at times, a lot of work. Lots of work, lots of hassle behind the scenes, right? But at the end of the day, it should make us happy. And folks, again, that are out here prepping, whether you're prepping in an apartment, whether you're homesteading, whatever. Maybe you live totally off the grid in an RV. That's awesome, by the way. I would love to do that. But the point is, whatever you are doing prepping-wise should make you happy. You should understand why you're doing it. You should understand that the urgency is real. Okay? It's adult stuff, right? It's very serious, but it should make you happy. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Yeah, the world is messed up right now. It's jacked up. We talk about this quite often. When you have Joe Biden and you have Kamala Harris and you have the cabinet that they've put together, and then you have Congress, both sides of the aisle, and you have all of this mystery money floating around, you're going to have chaos. Again, this is designed chaos. There are architects of chaos out there who are pulling puppet strings. You're going to have that, okay? It is a messed up place, but on an individual level, you should be happy. Even so, life should make you happy. That's what it's all about. Please, this morning, I'm going to cut it short here, but please don't become a defeatist. Don't become somebody who is so defeated. You're this negative presence and you're sucking other people's joy out. Right? Don't allow these people to control you in that way, because once you do, they've already defeated you. Folks, this is John with preppernation. Thank you very much for all the likes, the subscribes, the shares on social media and stuff like that. Help us shine a little light in the darkness that is now the internet. Y'all take care and God bless.